Hey everyone, it's Jesse coming at you again with some more of my answers to your questions from YouTube. Sorry about the shitty lighting. I still haven't purchased a computer desk yet, um, where I'm eventually going to put my computer. There's plenty of light there, and I didn't feel like doing another video on the floor like I did my last one. So you're just going to have to suffer through the horrible lighting here. Alright, so let me pull up YouTube here. Where are you, YouTube? Alright. Let's start with the first question here. He says, "Hey Matrix Prime, I like your reviews. They help me out a lot. My two questions are, how long does it take you to prepare for a review, and how did you get the idea for reviewing Transformers figures?" Well, I first started reviewing Transformers figures back in '98 when I started my first Transformers website, tfrollout.com. Why did I start reviewing them? I don't really remember why I started. It was just a service I wanted to offer to fans, I guess. How long does it take me to prepare? Not really all that long. Really, all I do is I get a figure, I take it out of its packaging, I transform it once, mess around with it for a few minutes, and then I generally just review it. Alright, let's see. Next question. Hey Matrix, what consoles do you have apart from the Xbox 360 and the Wii, which I saw for your reviews, and do you have the Transformers game? I have plenty of video game consoles. Currently the next gen, or the current gen, all I've got are the 360 and the Wii. I will be purchasing the PS3 at some point, but there's no reason to have it right now. Let's see. And do I have the Transformers game? Yes, I have the Transformers game for the 360. And yes, I hate it. It sucks. Alright. Hey Matrix Prime, do you know when Masterpiece Starscream will be coming out at Walmart? He's already out. And also, are you planning on going to Comic-Con this year? Because there are a lot of Transformer collectors that attend. No. I have no intentions of going to Comic-Con. Maybe I would go if it was like in my backyard or something. Meaning close to me. But no, I really have no real intentions of going. It's too far away. It costs too much money. Besides, I want to go to BotCon, so. Alright, next question. Hey Matrix, I asked about the Starscream repaint, and I was talking about the Masterpiece one. You're right. Thanks to my question. Not to my question. When you were in high school, did you have friends that were Transformers fans, or did you just keep it to yourself? Thanks. I had a few friends that were, I don't know if they were Transformers fans, but they certainly remembered them. Didn't really mess with me because I liked them or anything. Alright, next question. Hey Jesse, I was wondering if you ever watched the Beast Wars and Beast Machine series. Anyways, good job on the Q&A vids. Yes, I have both series on DVD. Beast Machines is really kick-ass. Alright, next question. Sorry Matrix, but the original 20th Prime is gone. Hasbro is only selling the DVD edition. If I'm wrong, tell me where I can find it in stores. I can't buy stuff online. Yes, the original 20th Anniversary Prime is gone from stores. It was gone from stores a long time ago. If you can't buy it online, then you'll have to buy that cheap-ass looking DVD edition Prime. Otherwise, I would hunt one down online. Next question. Who's your most despised G1 show character, excluding Wheelie? And you spelled Wheelie wrong. He's a dead giveaway. My most despised G1 character in the cartoon. Maybe Grimlock? It's not really that I dislike the character. It's that the character's overused. That's the only one I can think of. Alright, let's move on. Next question. Thanks for the videos. They've helped a lot on determining what figures are worth it. For me as a collector and for my nephew who's only just getting into them. I saw the Cliff Jumper repaint of Concept B a while back, and it doesn't blow my skirt up. Okay? I know that's like Hasbro's thing as far as Cliff Jumper goes, but the mold just doesn't fit that character in my opinion. My question is, are there any figures in the movie or classics line that you think would make a good repaint, or whose mold was better suited to another character? Like I said, thanks a lot for the reviews and Q&As. The fans appreciate it. None that come to mind. No. That's sort of a question I have to think about before I answer it. Sorry, I'll have to move on. Hey Matrix, I have two questions. First one is, I was thinking about the Transformers Sports series. Do you think that you can do a review on it or not? And my second question is, do you have any Transformers alternators? Review them and I will send you $70 in your email. And I need your email address too if you do it. I have no idea what you're talking about when you're talking about Transformers Sports series. Unless maybe you're talking the shoes. I don't know. Yes, I do have alternators. And hey, if you want to send me $70, I'll review an alternator for you. That email address is matrix.prime@gmail.com. So go ahead and send your $70. Let's see, moving on. I hear you hated the color scheme of Autobot Jazz. So do you think you might get the G1 style repaint for Autobot Jazz? No, the G1 repaint does not help that figure at all. That figure just needs a total redesign for it to be any good. Alright, let's move on. Great overuse of sarcasm in the Transformers movie CD case review. You like that, huh? Seriously, I liked it. It made me laugh. You were being so serious up to the so-called transformation that I actually thought I was going to transform. And Flying Disc of Death, classic. Anyway, here's the question. Have you seen the G1 style repaint of the Autobot Ratchet Voyager? And if so, do you think it's better than the original color scheme? You advised me to buy Ratchet in the last video, so do you think the G1 style repaint is better or not? Also, are you a Nintendo fan too? I saw the t-shirt you were wearing in the last questions answering session. I'm both a Transformers fan and a Nintendo fan. I'm also a Marvel and Star Wars fan too. Yes, I know, I am a bit strange. Yes, you are. Do I think the Ratchet repaint is better? Not really. I like the original color scheme that we got. I won't pick up the repaint, so I can't really judge it other than just looking at it in the packaging. If I had to pick between the two, though, I would still definitely stick with the original color scheme. Am I a Nintendo fan? Yes, I am a fan of Nintendo. I have the Wii. I have the original Nintendo. I have the Super Nintendo. There was that time period when the PlayStation and PlayStation 2 were big, where I wasn't really big on Nintendo, but they're sort of pulling me back in here with the Wii. Alright, so let's move on. Hey Matrix, it's Big Dude 101, or yeah. I was wondering if you played the Transformers game. If you did, what did you think? I thought it had a nice artwork, but gameplay was repetitive. I thought the game sucked, despite my initial review of it. It's pretty boring. I would pass on it at all costs. Maybe if it eventually drops down to like $10, maybe you'd pick it up. Otherwise, I would avoid it. Hey, thanks to your RoboVision info on video number 4. Anyway, this is probably a dumbass question. Then you shouldn't be asking it. But do you know of any stores in the UK for Transformers, as we don't have Target or Walmart? Also, how do you make such good reviews? Do you plan it out beforehand? I've already sort of answered the review question. I really don't plan anything out. I just know that I'm going to talk about the vehicle mode, the robot mode, the color scheme. I'll show you the transformation, talk about the posability, and then give you my final thoughts. As far as stores in the UK, I have no idea. I don't live there, never been there. I'd like to go someday, but I can't help you out there. Alright, next one. I have two questions. Which Transformers toy line do you think has produced the worst toys, Beast Machines? And how good is the selection of Transformer toys where you live? It was a lot better a few weeks ago. Now the deluxes are dwindling again. All the Voyagers are practically gone. I think they are all gone in my area now. The only thing I can find are a few deluxes and the Ultimate Bumblebee. Other than that, they're pretty scarce. Alright, so let's move on to the next question. Hey, what Transformers characters do you wish to see in the next movie? I'm not going to answer that question. That's been brought up before. I don't care. I just want to see a sequel. Hey Matrix, I saw your review on the new HD DVD Transformers, which you can find at tooearly.tv. That's TOOEARLEY.tv, by the way. It was great. However, will you make a video review of the new DVD with his transforming package? You mean transforming packaging? I was initially going to do a review on that, but I never picked it up. And now I can't find it at Target, so maybe if I can find it and I do pick it up, I will. Otherwise, probably not. Hey Matrix, I was wondering if you could do Transformers toy reviews on the movie Brawl, Devastator, Leader Class, Blackout, and Scorponok, please. No, because I don't have those figures, and I won't be buying those figures. If you want to send them to me for free, I'll take them and review them. Otherwise, no. Yo Matrix, if you have any G2 figures other than Bumblebee, could you do a review on them? I have a lot of G2 figures. The majority of them, however, are sealed in their packaging still. I bought a lot of those on eBay a few years ago. I have no intentions of taking them out of their packaging. They're staying there. So no. Besides, I did review one other figure besides Bumblebee. I reviewed Sea Spray. So be sure to check that out. Next question. You left out the word you. Do you know any stores that have Voyager class Transformers figures? They all should have Voyager figures. If they don't, you just have to look around. Next question. Hi Matrix, I bought Movie Rescue Ratchet Repaint, and I was wondering if it will be worth anything in the future. Please give an honest opinion. Thanks. Will the movie figures in general be worth anything in the future? Maybe 30 years down the road. If you're buying figures as a means of obtaining money at some point in the future, you should be investing in the G1 figures. The newer lines, they probably will never be worth as much as the originals. So I'm going to say no. Next question. Hey Matrix Prime, I was wondering if you had the Revoltech. No, I don't. Prime or Megatron. Do you have any Armada or Energon figures? Yes, I have plenty of those. Next question. Is there going to be a Leader Bone Crusher or Voyager Bone Crusher? I don't know. Dear Matrix, will there be another movie of Transformers? Yes, there will be. And I'm not going to go down your list of characters there. Hey Matrix Prime, do you recommend Deluxe Bone Crusher or Deluxe Swindle? If not either, which Deluxe figure? Check out my reviews. I review plenty of Deluxe figures. I don't have those figures, so I don't know if I can recommend them or not. Hey Jesse / Matrix Prime, I know that this might not be the smartest question that you have ever gotten, but I need some advice. What is the best way to support your lighting when doing a review? Was lighting you used a lamp, or was it suspended on a wall or a ceiling? Also, what is the best kind of lighting to use? P.S. Thanks for posting that Transformers movie leak on the TF Wire show notes. As for lighting in my reviews, I've already answered this question, but I guess I'll cover it again real quick. Previously, it was a ceiling fan that had 4 light bulbs in it, so I got plenty of light there. Currently, I have an extra spare room in my apartment. I'm going to try and convert that into a quote-unquote studio to record videos and stuff. I'm planning on purchasing some lighting. What I'm going to get, I'm not quite sure yet. But for those reviews, I did just use ceiling lights. It was 4 light bulbs that provided plenty of light. Next question. Hey Matrix, are the alternator figures and the classics still being manufactured? I've never seen an alternator in stock at a store. Alternators is done, and the classics are done for now, but they will be coming out again in the fall of 2008. Next question. What are your opinions on the Transformers movie? I've given my opinions on the TF Wire podcast. Go check those out. Next question. Hey Matrix, what made you call yourself Matrix Prime? I just took the word Matrix. I took the second part of Optimus Prime's name, combined them. I came up with Matrix Prime. Let's see, next question. Hey Matrix, it's Big Dude 101 again. I was wondering if you played the Transformers game. If you did, didn't I already answer this question? Yes. Why did you post it twice? Alright, let's see. Hey Matrix Prime, do you think Starscream will have a bigger role in the second Transformers movie? I think he will. I hope he will. We'll have to wait and see. Matrix Prime, I just bought the first Transmetal Optimus Primal from a guy on Craigslist for 20 bucks. The figure is still in his package, but it seems the box was opened and a little bit damaged, but not so bad. Do you think I got ripped off? And what is your take on the figure itself? Well, I actually picked up the Transmetal Primal and Megatron at BotCon 02. I wasn't big on the Beast Wars figures when they were out, so I picked up a few of them there. I really like the figures, that's why I purchased them, but they're still in their packaging. As for whether or not you got ripped off, if it looks like it was opened and it was sold to you under the guise of being mint in sealed box, then you probably did get ripped off on that. But for 20 bucks, I mean, that's all I paid for the figures. They were still sealed. So 20 bucks is pretty good for that figure. Whether or not you actually got ripped off for 20 bucks, I would say no. But if it was under the guise of being mint in sealed box, then yes, you probably did get ripped off. If that makes any sense. I think I just totally confused myself. Anyways, let's move on. Hey Matrix, I was wondering, who should I buy next? Voyager Ironhide or Voyager Starscream? And who do you want to see the most in Transformers 2, Ultra Magnus? Alright, I'm not answering any Transformers 2 questions. Should I buy Voyager Ironhide or Starscream? How about buying both? Let's move on. I saw your vid to Hasbro. This is just wrong. I'm glad my Optimus Prime isn't like that. This is the same guy that says, oh, sorry, wrong YouTube user. Yeah, I have no idea what that remark was about, so I'm moving on. Hey Matrix Prime, will you be getting Walmart exclusive Starscream? Yes, as soon as I can find it. If I can find it. It's currently out there. I've checked the Walmarts in my area. I haven't found it yet. Hopefully I will soon. Next question. Hey Matrix, when will you be doing the Star Wars Transformers Darth Vader / Death Star? I've been waiting for you to do a review on it, and I think it's about time you do it. Well, you know what? Fuck you, because I'm not doing it. Besides, I don't own the figure, I'm not buying the figure, I don't have any Star Wars Transformers figures. And if you think you can tell me which figures to review, you got another thing coming. Let's see, next question. What is one of the most best G1 toy? Okay, that was just horribly bad grammar. There's a lot of good G1 toys. I don't know if I can narrow it down to one. Next question. I have two questions. You say Concept Bumblebee is good, and I want it, but is it worth the hassle to find, or should I wait for Cliff Jumper? I would track down Bumblebee. It's really good. Let's see, next question. My local Toys R Us has a Classics Cliff Jumper, Classics Grimlock, Classics Ramjet, Classics Mirage, and Classics Jetfire. Can you list them in best to worst? Thanks, you are good. Let's see, from best to worst. From that list, probably Jetfire, Ramjet, Mirage, Grimlock, and Cliff Jumper. And the only reason I rate Cliff Jumper low is because it's just a repaint. I would, if it were Bumblebee instead, I would probably put that before Jetfire, so that'd probably be number one on the list. But since it's just a repaint rather than a new mold, I'm going to put that one last. Alright, let's move on to the last page of questions here. Let's see. Is Classics Prime, the Voyager, any good or worth getting? Yes, I've reviewed the figure. Check out the review. It's a great figure. Hello, Jesse / Matrix Prime. Sorry for posting this question twice, but I got knocked down back in your comment section. Anyways, my question is, and I already answered that question. That was a lighting question again. You don't need a double post. I go back and look at the questions. Hey, Matrix Prime. I have two questions. Which G1 toys do you think I should get? And what are you going to get? And are you going to get any All-Spark Power toys? Negative on the last one. And which G1 toys do you think I should get? Shoot for the 1984-85 line. Those are all really great figures. And there's not a ton of figures. There weren't a ton of figures during those years. So you could probably track those down. Maybe not the originals, since those could be very pricey. But even the reissues. They're great figures. Let's see here. Yo, Matrix, I just found out that the Hasbro Masterpiece Starscream is part of the Classics line. Okay. Well, whoever told you that is an idiot because it's not part of the Classics line. It just has Classics-inspired packaging. Let's see. Hey, Matrix, do you think that the upcoming Transformers cartoon series robots are well designed? Yeah. How many Transformers collections do you own? I didn't know I had more than one collection. I considered it all just one huge, big collection. But if you mean which toy lines, I have Transformers from every American toy line and some from the Japanese toy lines, so... Hello, Matrix Prime. Are the titanium figures worth the price or worth getting? I'm thinking the flimsiness will annoy and put me off. Some of them are worth getting. Not all of them are flimsy. The flimsiness really only affected some of the very first few figures. But I have reviewed, let's see. I reviewed Rodimus and Ultra Magnus. Rodimus is a good figure. I do like the Ultra Magnus, at least in robot mode. I would recommend getting those. But yeah, if you see one and you like the looks of it, definitely pick it up. Let's see here. Hey Matrix, somebody on Craigslist is selling a Robots in Disguise, Optimus Prime, and Ultra Magnus complete with everything for $75. Is that a good deal? The figures are open, but he is including the box. For $75 and they're open? I would say no, although I don't know what the current asking rate for the Robots in Disguise figures are. But you could track these down for a lot less, I would think. Especially since they've been reissued numerous different times now. They shouldn't be too hard to find, especially at a cheaper price. Hi Matrix Prime / Jesse. Should be the other way around. Like your reviews, just wondering if you watch any other people's reviews on here and what do you think of them? No, I don't really, except for Spada's. I really don't care what other people think of the toys, which kind of makes me wonder why people care what I think about the toys. So no. Last question. Hey man, how's it going? Can you tell me if Jazz from Transformers is really even a big part of Transformers? I've never Reiki. Looks like you hit the K button instead of the L button. I've never really heard of him, and also, who is Dropkick? What do you mean you've never heard of Jazz? He's an essential part of the Autobot team, especially during the G1 era, the first season of the cartoon. I don't need to tell you who Jazz is. Go look it up. And who is Dropkick? Dropkick is the name given to a Transformer toy. What do you want me to tell you? Alright, so that's it for the list of questions here, I think. Yep, that was the last one, if you want to call that one a question. If you have any questions you want me to answer, be sure to post them on my YouTube channel. Again, do not post your questions in the video comments. I will not answer those. I'll avoid them at all costs. If you want your question answered, post it in my YouTube channel under the comments. Alright, so I guess that's it for this edition of Jesse Answers YouTube Questions. So I am going to be signing off now as soon as I find my iMovie button here. Alright, so I'm Jesse and I am signing off.